Alright, a very good evening to you. I do trust you're fine wherever you're watching us from. This is Destiny TV, a station that impacts your life. And of course, this is Boresha Show, where we bring you issues that affect us as farmers, consumer, and the entire nation. And last week, in the last episode, we were discussing more on post-harvest handling practices, whereby our guest, Mr. Kirigia, was telling us on ways that you can preserve your commodities so that when you take them to the market, they will fetch good market. And today is not an exemption. We are still continuing with where we left. And with me here, I'm having a guest. She's Madam Beth. She's going to tell me and you more on marketing these commodities in the marketplace. And join us and we will learn more. Welcome, Madam. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Thank you. My name is Beth Macau. I'm a lecturer, Mary University of Science and Technology in the Department of Agriculture. I teach agribusiness and entrepreneurship courses. Thank you.
Thank you. You've heard, and that's who she is. And now that she's here, she's going to tell us how the market has been affected by this COVID-19. Are you able to access the market? Are you able to go and buy your tomatoes, potatoes, cabbages, skuma, and everything of such kind? She's going to tell us what marketing is all about and what relationship that exists between this agriculture and marketing. Yes.
Thank you. If I may start by defining what agricultural marketing is all about. Agricultural marketing basically involves so many activities, but it's all about whatever activities that take place between the seller and the buyer, who is the consumer. So many activities take place from the time a commodity leaves the farm up to the time a commodity is consumed by the ultimate consumer. There are various activities that are involved there, and all those activities is what we call agricultural marketing. And here we are talking of activities such as once a commodity has been grown, it has been harvested, there is point of collection whereby we assemble various commodities from point A, point B, point C. We all assemble them together at one collection point. Then after assembling them, you may require a bit of storage of the same. You may store them at one point. After storing them, they will necessarily not be consumed there. There are those commodities which require probably to be processed. They will be transported. So here we are talking of you have assembled the commodities in one point, you have maybe stored the commodities, then you transport the commodities, then once you transport them, probably they are processed, depending on what kind of commodity we are talking about here. There are those which are processed, there are others that are consumed raw. So depending on the nature of the commodity in question here, there are those which will be require processing. Once they are processed, of course, the other things follow, like grading, standardizing them, putting them in different grades here and there. Then finally, of course, you package them, you put them in those convenient packages to the consumer or to the end user. So quite a number of activities are involved here, and all those activities together, we call them agricultural marketing activities. So agricultural marketing is not just one term. It's a various number of activities here. Yeah.
Wow, that's a very good start of at least you've connected the last episodes with today's episode. And bearing in mind that all of us we are facing this great pandemic, that is the COVID-19, and we are unable to access to the marketplaces, and our farmers, once their commodities are ready, they are unable to take them to the market. And I was reading somewhere, farmers are complaining that the prices are going low, most of the commodities are going into waste, they are not able to access the market. So you will be able, you will tell us the situation before we before we engage more on those activities and other things that just rotate around the marketing, you'll tell us the situation, the current situation on marketing. Yes.
Yes, that's a good question, Ken. Currently, we are really facing a challenge, matters to do with the marketing of agricultural commodities. First of all, the nature of agricultural commodities is such a way that there's a lot of interaction. Yeah, even as a buyer, when I'm buying these commodities, I need to touch them, I need to evaluate, I need to assess. So definitely, I will require to interact with whoever is selling them. Right now, this pandemic is in such a way that interaction is not encouraged. Yeah, so we are facing a challenge whereby myself as a buyer, I want to go to the market, interact with the seller, assess the commodity, touch the commodity as much as possible. But now we have that challenge. That way, it is only possible that whoever is selling, if they can embrace a way of maybe packaging, value addition, so that rather than the consumer evaluating, touching the commodities here and there, they can just look at the grade and then they select with minimum interaction as much as possible. Another way we can go about it is if the sellers can embrace what we call home delivery. If there is a way they can deliver these commodities to the buyers on their doorstep, I think that is better. But currently we are facing that challenge whereby minimum interaction is encouraged, and that is really a challenge. Basing our argument that the commodities, by their nature, you must interact here and there. You must select, you must pick, you must assess them, evaluate physically, and all that, which now has come maybe to an end because of the pandemic we are facing. So the only way to go about it, in my opinion, is value addition, whereby the sellers, maybe they can package the commodities so that I go there and just pick what I want without necessarily having to evaluate them physically and all that.
You see now that it's a great task for all of us, because, for example, I want to buy cherry tomatoes or maybe grapes, and you see there is the quality and the sensory characteristic that me as a consumer, I would love to buy that commodity with such characteristics. But now you've packaged that and you've delivered it to me, and maybe I ordered via online on such platforms. Don't you think that it will be so hard for me to accept that commodity, and it's not really that thing that I wanted in the market? So how is that?
Okay, thank you for that question. So here, because this is something that came to all of us, yes. We were not expecting the situation to be the way it is. I think what will help us as Kenyans is to have integrity. Sure. You as a seller, once you are packaging this commodity, please have integrity that you are packaging the right commodity. So if you put a grade and assuming that it is a good grade, let it be a good grade, because that way is the only way we can deal with it. Now that the situation is in such a way that we cannot go the way we were doing it freely. You go selecting, you go picking, you go testing and all that. Yeah. Again, we have really been encouraged to observe hygiene if we have to fight this disease. That way, again, it calls for integrity. You will not be encouraged to go testing products here and there like we used to do before. So it is good that we embrace hygiene, we observe integrity, we be faithful to ourselves so that we fight the disease, and hopefully the situation will be restored. That's our hope.
That's very good. And in the last episodes that I've already passed, we went in the farm and we were able to interact with most of the farmers. And the challenge is some of the farmers do an enterprise, or they grow like if it's cabbage or tomato, or maybe they put cows or goats, but they don't know the market demand of that commodity. So, and you'll help us to identify, to understand how we can identify the market gap. For example, I want to enter into agribusiness, because all of us, of course, even the viewers, whenever you are triggered to enter into farming, the first thing is making profit, because an enterprise without profit, then you're doing zero work. For example, now a farmer want to begin farming, want to start an enterprise. How would you assist that farmer to identify a market gap?
Thank you for that question. Identifying market opportunities as far as agribusiness is concerned, there's quite a number of ways of doing the same. First of all, there is what we call just doing market research or market survey. You can just survey the market, observe the trends, what is happening in the market. And that way, you'll be able to see probably which products are moving, which products are not moving. These products which are moving, you can be able to interact with the consumers, have questionnaires, do a research, and find out their level of satisfaction. As a consumer, you may be having a commodity, yes, but there's that level of satisfaction. Yes, the commodity is in the market, but maybe in terms of quality. You can always listen to grievances of the consumers. Consumers always talk of, if, for example, we had a better variety. If these are mangoes and the problem with these mangoes is ripening very fast, yeah? That way you can just listen to the grievances of the consumers. You can hear what their grievances are, what their problems are. And that way, when you enter into business now, you can address their grievances by providing or improving on the areas where they are not satisfied. That is one way of identifying opportunities. Another way of identifying opportunities, for example, in this pandemic we are facing right now, every problem, every challenge brings an opportunity.
Sure.
Like right now, the government and the health officials are really encouraging that we eat right diet, healthy eating habits and all that. You know, to a farmer, this is an opportunity. How will you provide this healthy diet? So we are being encouraged to eat maybe fresh fruits, vegetables and all that, so that our immunity level is boosted and it is high. So although it's a disease, it has brought an opportunity to the farmer. So every challenge brings an opportunity. And you can just look at the challenges that are there and turn them to be opportunities. Yeah. Thank you.
And there's something on the same. There's a question that was sent to us the previous week. A farmer was asking, at least now you've known from market identifying a market gap. You've known about the market research and you are triggered to think more. So this farmer wanted to begin an enterprise of which he didn't know. But at least after doing a market research, we will be able to understand what the consumer needs. Maybe in Meru County, there's a scarcity of avocado. The farmer can enter into that as an enterprise. Maybe in Nairobi County, there is no milk. People can start dairy farming in that place.
Yeah.
So market research is such a good tool to use in in identifying market gaps.
Sure.
Then, as we're moving on well, and I would love you to tell us what marketing entails. You started by telling us, you already introduced this from the time you are helping us to understand what agricultural marketing is. You'll help us to understand what this marketing entails, all the way from the farm to the point of consumption.
Good. Just as I stated when I was opening, we said that marketing is a variety of activities. So marketing entails all those activities. And then we are going to move step by step. Yeah? But you are saying marketing entails all the activities that connect or that link the producer to the consumer. And quite a number of activities are involved here. So for example, marketing all begins with assembling of the products, picking products from various points where they have been grown and then assemble them together. Once they are assembled, the next thing is probably you store them a little bit. They require storage, or that storage here depends on what kind of produce are you storing. If, for example, you're storing fruits and vegetables, it's not the same way you are going to store cereals, yeah? But there's that element of storage. After storage, then there's distribution. Distribution is of 2 stages. There are 2 stages in matters distribution, yeah? You carry or you transport these products to areas where they will be processed. That is one stage. Another stage, once they are processed, then you distribute to the ultimate consumers. All that is to do with distribution. So here we are talking of marketing entails all those various activities depending on what product in question here, various products, but they pass through various activities. So once the products, for example, we are talking of something like a maize, yeah? It has been processed, it is now flour, yeah? How will you distribute it to the customers? Considering that, for example, we are talking in Meru, we are talking of Afya Center, yeah? Afya Center, which is up here, and the consumers are all over the country. How do you now distribute? While you are distributing this, there is also something known as sales promotion, creation of awareness, telling the consumers that now we have this maize flour, which is very good. We are selling it at this much. This is where you can find it. So all that creation of awareness is what we are calling a sales promotion. You must promote your product. So marketing entails all those activities, basically activities that link the producer and the ultimate consumer. And quite a number of activities are involved here. And they differ depending on the commodity in question. But it entails all those various activities. Yeah, thank you.
At least now that we've known what marketing entails, and that one brings us to our big question. And remember, you can participate, you can send your views or comments via the number that is appearing on your screen. Or you can also find us on Facebook, Destiny TV, and leave us with your comment, and we'll look more into those comments. And even before we take a break, you will help us to understand, just mention the key players in this marketing area. Then from there we shall break, and then we'll discuss more in details the key players.
Thank you. The key players in marketing, the first and the foremost player is the consumer. Yeah, consumer is the first player in the whole chain of marketing. And then we have the buyer. I mean, we have the consumer who is also the buyer. Then we have the seller, who is also the producer. And then depending on what kind of product in question here, we have people we call middlemen, yeah, or the sales agents. Those people who link the consumer and the producer. We have quite a number of players here. We have distributors, we have brokers, we have wholesalers, we have retailers. All those are people who link to these 2 parties here, who is the buyer and the seller. So marketing has quite a number of players, but these players vary depending on which commodity in question we are talking about here. Yeah, so we have those.
Their roles matters a lot.
Their roles matter a lot. For example, the role of the producer is to produce the commodity, yeah? The role of the consumer is to consume the commodity and to provide information, to give feedback. Is the commodity satisfactorily supplied? Is it of good quality? Does it meet the customer satisfaction and all that? Then when it comes to people like wholesalers, they have a role of, for example, storing these commodities until they reach the consumer. So different players, they play different roles, which are very key in marketing.
All right, and the big question is, how do you think COVID-19 has affected marketing of agricultural commodities? Are you able to access the market as you used to do before? Are you able to buy that commodity that you used to buy as before? So give us your comment, tell us where you are, and tell us who you are. So I'll repeat the question. How do you think COVID-19 has affected marketing of agricultural commodities to you as a farmer or even as a consumer? Because all of us, we've been affected in one way or another. Even as we come back after the break, we'll be discussing more on the channels of marketing, and we'll be looking into the comment that you're sending in. Thank you so much.